interesting how teammates fall out. It is. Bandmates, that just has to happen. I'm saying that's a normal ritual over time, because to be real life human beings, specimens at that, human specimens. I'm starting to sound like an alien. To be a human being is to know you're not going to always get along 24 hours a day. That's just the point, even in history, where some of these bandmates, I'm sure, have had attitudes with one another, as in possibly not swinging and fights and all the rest, yet you never even know. Hotel motels back in the day, right? Brawls, not brawls, but fighting matches and all that, right? Where fans don't see. I don't know if this was one of those type of bands back then. Fleetwood Mac, to be exact. But sometimes you do, in fact, have groups and all the rest that, yeah, be singing, and solo artists and stuff that don't be telling, as even that's telling of me saying that sort of thing. And yet stuff sometimes happen and then it comes out later and real. Like, subscribe, ID in the Discovery Channel. Yes, ID in the Discovery Channel. The links are provided below. Get that Discovery Go app as well as that ID Go app. You might want to get those two and combine them together. Make them into one. That would say that's a box set, and it's classy as in all three, because it had a logo hanging here, as well as doing what I just said, is to say, well, even that's a match. Helps to pull a player's card. I just did. But yeah, so the whole lawsuit with this, that's the type of stuff I hate to see. I hate to see where there's performances with individuals for years on end, and then they wait till they're like half in the grave to have an issue or a dispute or a matter that needs to be taken care of, right? To say, well, who's in the wrong is to ask with the devastation in that, right? Are all parties created equal? That's why I really couldn't really be on stage with all the fame, all like that, and its various members in the group playing on a team being famous. That just has to cause and pose problems. It just does, right? Because each of you are in fact famous, and yet not everybody feels like the limelight is created equal. Divided down the line, people be wanting more shares. Yeah, they in fact do. And then you got others that are in fact owed more shares with that. Yeah, that's something I could, that's a profession on my end, more like confession, not profession, no, a profession confession, I should say, on my end, something I would never take the chance to do. But yes, a Lindsey Buckingham, fans out there of his would in fact know this individual that I'm speaking on. Fleetwood is being sued by Lindsey Buckingham, bandmate of Fleetwood Mac, wants his damn money. And then I kind of don't blame him if yeah, because it's kind of messy, the scandal aspect. He feels he lost millions after he was fired from the group. Well, of course, who wouldn't want theirs? Because there's bills and all the rest that piles up with even that, if you're not attaining money when you so need it, back bills and all the rest, right? So the firing fiasco included Buckingham. It happened somewhere right around the time he issued a request to delay a tour. Yeah, the dates. Let me pause, because see, sometimes my concentration, do you hear that? It's my turtle tank. It's in fact playing itself. Yes, it's not a disc or a cassette player. That's in fact my turtle tank. And yet it kind of throws me off, as in flips me off sometimes when I'm trying to sit here and concentrate, because to hear water puddles is to say, well, what the F, right? I can't think and speak clearly with that, despite me having these big old winter head muffs on, and yet it's not Christmas. Let me go back. The firing fiasco included Buckingham. It happened somewhere right around the time he issued a request to delay a tour. Right here in America, yes it did, so he could be given privilege to finish an album he was working on, which was to be a solo project. And when it comes to the business request of Buckingham, were in fact those, he made the request in the form of email. Why don't people like to pick up the phone? I know we're living in a digital era, but sometimes even that could, because to be reading stuff in text form is to say, well, sometimes it's going to be taken wrong and not right and more so not specific because you're reading stuff in text, which sometimes doesn't contain emotion, unless it's in bold or with characters or whatnot. But sometimes that's even how you can mismanage your own deed. The seed you are that you're trying to obtain. Sometimes things are not always read specifically in email the right way as they would when you're picking up a phone. These business requests of Lindsey Buckingham being done by email, trying to work out that situation of him gaining and attaining his money as he feel he rightfully, is well deserving of, right? Yeah, that's not gonna work. You should always settle business affairs over the phone. I mean, I know when it comes to industry stuff, operations be so busy that sometimes it's hard to gain access contact, right? And yet you might in fact want to take your chance to fly in if you're out of state somewhere, or walk in through the door and talk to somebody face to face. I said, no, sorry partner, you gotta shut everything down. My stuff is more important at this time, because if I don't eat and if I got kids or ancestors, that's funny, that's a joke, that's childish on my own end. If I got individuals I gotta in fact take care of, and I'm a Lindsey Buckingham, and to say I gotta get my money best way I need to by not doing stuff by email, because stuff like that can go unfound for days, right? That's going to cause miscommunication issues as well. That just has to be said too. So Buckingham, he in fact pleaded with his bandmates, which they had no interest to hear. That's why the situation is the way that it is. A messy piece, right? So the dumping process of a Buckingham. Why do I want to keep saying a Buckingham? This whole dirty deed process of dumping this man to the sidelines, as in a kick to the curb and possibly skid row. Right, this whole dumping process of him came right around the week after a Music Cares event. Not too many people on the outside of the industry know about that sort of thing, unless they're a follower of certain favorite celebrities of theirs. That's a true statement. I'm saying. So yeah, everything within the time period was in fact January 2018 when this event had taken place, and them dumping him the way that they did, getting rid of him, was like a week after the music event, or not the music event, Music Care event. So much. Not too many know about that organization as well. I always say Music Cares because I'm hood. There's proper ways to say certain things in which I myself, because I'm a creative, highly fueled, creative individual, I say things in the wrong way, as in how I'm going to say them, right? I'm saying, and possibly drop some bump out of the trunk while I'm doing it. But yeah, there's alcoholic, tendencies and drug abuse and all. It's all type of organizations, industry wise, that helps individuals that are in the industry and they have, issues, managing drug issues, controlled substances, and all that other stuff. That's why you got organizations like that exist. So that's in fact a very profitable on both ends event like that. Let me go back to what I was saying. So when it comes to counting your losses, it's estimated by Lindsey Buckingham himself via lawsuit with the claims and all the rest, right? He's at a loss of between 12 to 14 million. The touring. Because if you got a 60 show, right? If you got a 60-date show, would I analyze and try to, I was going to say profit on my own end, yet that's not going to work, right? But calculating even, yes, a 60 show when it comes to all the touring and how much money is to be made and lost once you kick to the curb with that. That's about right. 12 to 14 million. and that. I don't think I could ever. Yeah, I don't think I could ever. Cause see, to be like that is to. Many of these people, in fact, have to perform until the day that they die. Not all of them, no, but you got individuals that, in fact, have been performing since the beginning of time, right? And they, in fact, end up stuck in touring just to survive and eat and all the rest. And then when America is done with you and they be fickle and all the other stuff and want to get rid of you, is to go, somewhere to like Europe or something, Asia or something, right? So that you can survive. Because once the lights go dim, it's to say, well, now I got to step on stage and go elsewhere. Possibly it's going to be rightfully right outside of America, the four walls. Intriguing. So, this whole blame game. So, band member to band member, each band member is laying the fault on one another, and it seems like nobody wants to own up. That's what bands does. I myself... Yes, my uncle, family members, in fact, have a band. And my interest was the songwriting aspect, but I really didn't get into it like that. Because I kept noticing it was fallouts and stuff like that. That's not to say nothing about family, right? Or even just human beings as a whole, but stuff like that, I just really can't. It's too much ego there. Nobody want to take responsibility when there's mix-up drama and fueled at that, right? Yeah, so each are in fact, yes, blaming one another, and then supposedly Mick Fleetwood, yes, founding member of the group. There's some words about even him. It is because with him supposedly failing to actually meet up with Lindsey Buckingham so that they can set this ordeal straight, is to say, what do you say? I'm not gonna say unprofessional businessman, no, because I'm professional on camera all the time, specifically on the dial with that, right? But that's to say, I don't know, there's strings attached in that. I guess that's all to be said because nothing else has been said at all. Yeah, it's just the groups. You gotta really, I don't know. You gotta really, because see, that's different than working behind the scenes on some film crew and set with all the rest with all that, right? Because you're helping to foot the star of somebody if you're working behind the scenes in industry or whatnot. Discovery, Sony Music, anybody, right? But once you step on stage, it's to say too much ego. It just, the driven ego aspect will drive you nuts, as in who's gonna tell you when to sit down, shut up, pee, go get something to drink, all that. So have one band leader that's the member and possibly the founders to say he's going to want everything done in the way that he perceives. And everybody else is going to be viewed much more lower with that. Yeah, I ain't got time for that. But shouts out to Fleetwood Mac with that. So we're on the investigationdiscoveryyes.com, the actual website. The lane, to be specific, right? ID logo sits right above. Live now, American Monster. You can start streaming on the case. Shouts out to Paula, the one and only, to be specific with that. Recommended for you, Lieutenant Joe Kenda, Homicide Hunter. Scroll through any one of these, what lies beneath, and you would in fact be met with, yes, descriptions and all the rest. Anything, the goods in which you would want to see, perceive, and all the rest. The lights are all the way on. They're not dim. Press the play button for a visual, yes, with sounds and all the rest. It's not a VHS tape, no. There's no squiggly line. There's no squiggly lines with that sort of thing. Seeing that across the screen and all the rest. No. Description, in fact, yes, sits right here. Add to watch later. In fact, click the plus sign. That's season 6, episode 1. Home Alone. I'm just driving through. On last night, to gain access, yes, there's the key right there. You in fact have to put your subscriber in, your provider, subscriber, whatever you like to call that, to gain access for a preview. It's the only way you're gonna get in. Otherwise, it's padlocked down. Description right here. To add to watch later is to do, yes, what I said before. It keeps wanting to move, as it doesn't want to stay still for me. Why not? The plus. Once again, more shows with that. Unlock series, the very same thing. Scrolling through. I know that in fact makes a viewer dizzy. My greatest apologies with that. ID Go original series. Same with the flame. Schedule preview. Support to Save the Children's efforts. Yes, you can click here to donate. To access the crime feed, crimefeed.com is to click right here and you would in fact be directed on the outside. Yes, dear love, to the crime feed. It is in fact real. It exists, as in Discovery, yes, in fact owns its very own crime feed full of news, disaster, and chaos and all the rest. For newsletters, to in fact type in your email address and click next. You can't see it because I'm sitting on it. And yet you would in fact have access, as in you're gaining something back once you do that. And the abstraction. So I think that's all to be said for now. I done said everything which has to be said. I'm guessing, or maybe not. People might feel, well, you need to keep your personal thoughts and feelings up when you're sharing information like this. No, possibly not. Because we're all human and I just need to say what I think and feel and expression with that type of thing. I like to feel some time of the day and not be on the fake and fickle, not fickle. That's a nice word as well. Fake and fickle. I like to feel real authentic things. So I gotta in fact leave my comment in as well. You should too, as in place it in the description. Not the description, the comment section. I'm messing up again. In the comment section below. Leave me something with that. So I holler back on the blowback, whatever that means. Possibly a big, great well, I don't know. Ask Discovery. Go to discovery.com. So it's all love. Enjoy your night or evening and be blessed with that sort of thing.